Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Motherwell 1, Rangers 2, and a strange game at Fir Park, but the lesson is all bear. You've got to take your chances, whether they happen in the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes, mate.
Absolutely, mate. And fantastic result, mate. All things considered, no, I mean, fantastic result, no doubt about that. Yeah. That's the best I've ever seen that Fir Park.
Aye, I've done a bit of work to it. It was a tune to good football, but both teams never used the grass at all, did they, Billy?
It's like keep the high balls low, isn't it? That's what it's like. No, that surface must have been a dream to play football in, mate, because that was immaculate. That surface, eh? I thought the team stuttered about in the final third of the park, mate. It was all congested and whatnot, but. We got the 3 points, Shocks. That's what we wanted before the game, by hook or crook, and we got it, mate.
Listen, I'll tell you something. The boy Tillman, what a goal it was, all bare, but see, before that, I was wanting him off the park. I've got to be honest.
He's a bit dodgy in his work ethic, isn't he?
He came
in here. Once he scored the goal, he seemed to lift his game altogether. You can see there's a player in there. There's definitely a player, but he really needs to learn to lift his work ethic. You know what I mean? He does that, and you'll get a one hell of a player. Really, honestly, his goal was tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
Right, so we get the goal. We get the second goal. Just a corner in for Borna, glance for Lundstrom off, sort of nits their defender in the goal 2-0. We're coasting, and I'm thinking, right, let's go and get a third here. You know, their heads will go down. And we can go in and win this really comfortably. But whenever we stop playing, Billy.
That's entirely right, mate. Eh? I'm saying to myself, right, we're 2-0 up and all, mate. I just see the game out, eh? Just see the game out, keep doing what we're doing. You don't need to do nothing stupid, crazy. Just keep the football and keep passing the ball about and shifting them about. And we didn't do it, Ox, you know what I mean? And we caused our own problems. And the last 20 minutes of the game, mate, we're hanging on a wee bit to get the 3 points.
Aye. And I think I'm still convinced that Albert, and there was a lot of players never get great marks today, but I still don't think Tavernier's fit, mate. I still don't care. He's too ponderous, and I know Big Al says he's just rubbish, but it's ponderous. You can see there's something no there.
He gets caught in possession a lot now, doesn't he? He really does get caught in possession, and that's a sign of somebody's no fit. That really is. It's also a sign that you're not a good player as well, but I think you're right. I think there's something wrong with the boy. The amount of time his clearances get blocked or his crosses get blocked now as well, because he's just got that snap, that wee bit of speed. And it's ridiculous if he is, because they've already done this. They've already experienced this medical crew overplaying a player like wee Alfie. You know what I mean? What happened to him? So you'd think if he is injured, they'd pull him out of the team.
Okay, before we get the phone lines open, the big positive for me, Ben Davies with Leon King. Yeah, Leon King, he turned a couple of times. Yeah, he showed he's only a young boy, but at times he was exquisite. And the two of them, Ben Davies really strolled through the game, yeah?
He's class, isn't he?
Aye.
Sorry.
Right, on you go, Albert, and we'll go to Billy.
He's class, isn't he? He's class, Ben Davies. You can see it. The boy King, he's got a lot to learn yet. You can see he's got a lot to learn, but it's there. The potential's there. You can see that if he actually knuckles down and actually gets the experience now and learns for the experience, you've got a centre half there, man. I'm not saying, I know you say his centre half might not be his position, but he can play it comfortable. He got turned a couple of times, and he started chasing the ball a couple of times. Didn't like that. But apart from that, the boy's a player. You can see it, and he done well. But that was a pure Motherwell team. Come on, let's be honest.
Aye, I know. I think that's the third goal at home all season. One was a penalty kick, one was an own goal, and then that goal, which was a bit of a fluke. But in my opinion, our goalkeeper, his setup was wrong, and Billy, you've got a theory that should he or should not been wearing a cap?
Well, I would imagine so, mate. You see, he goes forward, and then the boy, I don't know if the young lad he's caught him at had a wee look up and just seen him coming forward, and he's done him, hasn't he? But I'm sure when Alan McGregor looks back at that one, he'll not be too happy with himself. But listen, he's got his hands up, looking as if he's got blinkers on. Whereas so I'm saying to myself, well, just go and put a cap in your head to take the sun out your eyes, man. You know what I mean? But listen, I'll forgive him for that one, mate. I'll forgive him for that one. The only reason I'll forgive him is because of the good saves he's done throughout his career for Rangers and kept us in the game, mate. So listen, I'll forgive him for that one. All
right. You think it'd been easy for Gio to sort out a cap? Albert, easy to get a Dutch cap, wasn't it?
I don't know the way he does things. He'd probably send on a woolly bonnet. No, I mean, it's one of the ones. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't get a cap. We wouldn't get the obvious. Definitely wouldn't. Or an umbrella. That's what we'd send on. But it's... I don't care. We won the game. I don't care. I really don't. It was 3 vital points because it was all we'd have to look what happened during the week, plus the injuries, plus bits and pieces. It was important, and we done it. And at times we done it playing walking football. Let's no kid myself on. Well, few players
there was times in the game. Lundstrom frustrated me with his lack of urgency and pace to move the ball quick enough. And it looks as if this is a tactic all the time, one big switch to the other, which is great when it works. But, I mean, it cuts out a lot of players and it's got to put position. Anyway, we'll get your views on that, but let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, I don't know, and Scotty playing in that deeper role, no for me. Billy?
I don't know. I think it's just horses for courses, and you've not got folk to play in the positions, Ox. You've got to drop somebody in there to do a job type thing. I think that's maybe what the manager was thinking there, like, you know. But other than that, I mean, Scotty, I feel what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? You've got to get 110% off him. Excuse me, need to get my teeth back in. Work ethic off him, Ox. So, but Scotty, he's definitely not a hard midfield player. No chance.
No, I agree. That's why, again, I don't understand. If you're going to bring Stephen on and play Scotty where Tillman was playing, and then I'll keep Scotty on the bench and replace later on. But look, the manager ultimately got it right, Albert, because we won the game.
That's it, mate. You got to give him 10 out of 10 because we won the game. Still hear me?
Aye, we can hear you, mate. The lack of people to hit, I think it's something to do with our shape, because we keep the wingers so constantly out wide. There's a time for that. So when Cholak scored, nobody near him, mate. If you could draw a 30-yard circle on him, there's no Rangers player near him.
It's
isolated.
He's one of the players that's going to suffer, by the way, for this. And he came off the day, and I bet he was frustrated today. I bet he's well like that. I know, not a sniff. And it's nothing at Motherwell we're doing. It's the lack of ability in midfield play for us. It really is. It's a shame for the guy. I feel so. Even we Alfie come on and done nothing, because there's no boys to do anything with. We're not getting anything to work with.
The quality, nothing coming through the wings. And if Kent and Barisic, it's an overlap, put it in, and there's 2 guys in the box, yeah? 2 against 5, yeah? Right, well, since we started the game, Kent started lively. For me, he should have scored. He's got to take it with his left foot and put it in the goal, Billy.
Listen, he's got to burst the net there, mate. Definitely. It was a brilliant bit of skill off him, and that's what we're looking after Ryan Kent, mate, because he's got that in his locker, and Ryan Kent can do that all day long. But he's got to score there, mate. He's clean through. Didn't get my rank to the boy's got a good block in there, mate. But if he hits that a wee bit more earlier, the boy's in the pokey, Ox, so it is, you know.
Lack of confidence, wasn't it, Billy? Lack of confidence.
What's that, mate? That's yeah.
Maybe did he come instant enough for him to hit it with his left foot? And then with the one Tillman, he's got to hit the target, miss a sitter, Albert.
In fact, I actually thought he was going to curl it right into the top corner because he's got the ability to do it, but he ballooned it, absolutely ballooned it. There you go. It's what do you do? What do you do? We're sitting in the chair saying, we shouldn't do that, shouldn't do this, but you're out there, it's a bit... But you can't blame the surface this time. I mean, it was no bubbly surface or nothing like that. It's just he ballooned it. He should have buried it, but definitely.
Well, he should hit the target minimum,
Aye, minimum, mate.
Of course. Of course, Fox. He's got to hit the target here, mate. Try and at least make the keeper here a save. You know, he done neither, mate, and he got himself into a good position. You know what I mean? He's opened his body up nice as you like, mate, and he skied it.
No, then he had another chance when it all opened up for him, and he hit it. I think Mrs. Albert would have saved that one.
I did him, nothing. It was a scuff, wasn't it? He
didn't catch it.
No, he didn't near it, mate. Cholak would say he should have slipped it to him. He shouldn't Cholak, but I don't know if he'd have done that. I think Cholak might have been
offside. Offside. I thought so and all. All right, I'm going for Ben Davis, man of the match.
I would go with that, mate.
But I mean, I can understand why people would go with Tillman, Billy, because you don't get many goals like that, do you?
Listen, his goal was sublime, mate. Absolutely sublime. But see, afore that, mate, you could have flipped a coin to see who you were going to take off your Big Tillman or Matondo. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying to myself. I says, because we maybe need to get a wee change here, like, you know. But his goal was different class. But Ben Davis, superb and all, mate. I actually thought opposite. I know you were talking about Johnny Lundstrom there, but I thought Johnny Lumsden had a good game and all, mate. I really did. For the full game, by the way, and he's popped up and scored, which is his second goal when we're 2-0, obviously to go 2-0 up, mate. But he's popped up and scored the winner for us. So
I'll tell you what I think. Summed up Lundstrom's performance today, and I'll go the other way. I didn't think he had a good game, and I'll tell you what summed it up for me when he hung young Liam King out to drive with a short pass in the last couple of minutes. Albert.
Aye, that was bad. That was bad, but that's just hitting the ball on the blind side, isn't it? You're not looking. You're just hitting the ball, expecting nobody to be there, and you don't do that at that level. That's stupid. That's just stupid. But I would actually go. There's another contender for man of the match. I would have given the polystyrene cup that beat Kent.
What a flick! What a flick!
I mean, the boy, he'll get slag for that, surely, in training. Even a polystyrene cup's beating you. What are you all about?
It took some bubble, but didn't it?
I didn't have.
Maybe if you go as angry as that, maybe if you go as angry as that, Billy, the rest of the game, you might get a passion in you.
Aye, we should get the supporters to throw plastic cups on all the time, mate. Maybe get them out of me. But listen, see the thing, I know you were talking about there, Johnny Lundstrom slipping it back to Leon King. Aye, it's a poor pass, but who gives a ball to Johnny Lundstrom? I thought Ben Davis should have just maybe went long with it there, mate. He's played a ball. Ken, what I mean? He's played a ball into him there. He should have maybe just hit it into the channels, mate, to get us up the park again and mixed it up a wee bit.
Aye, but to one error, doesn't it? You're still responsible for your error, no? Yeah. Because he didn't.
Aye.
Right. But you're right, there was times just to put up a part and just move up the park, yeah.
But I also thought as well, Ox, that young Liam King done really, really well, mate. And for a laddie, what is he, 18-year-old, mate? I thought the big laddie was different class, mate. And listen, we can accept mistakes after laddie because he's going to learn, you know what I mean? But you can see there's a right classy football player in there, mate. And if he can keep a hold of him, mate, he's going to be an absolute topper in years to come if we can keep him.
Aye, the boy's got ability. I would think the trouble is, Albert, if he wants to get involved too much, whereas a defender's got to defend sometimes, and that's just eagerness where he'll learn that, right, okay, I don't have to go for that ball. Yeah, and his game will improve.
He needs to learn. I think he will learn. but he needs to learn, and he needs to learn quick because he's going to be in that position. Let's be honest with you. It's unfair, I know. It's unfair to expect that much out of that boy, but it's coming. He needs to realise with the situation we're all in, it's coming. There's a lot of pressure going to be put on that boy's shoulders, and I'm expecting our senior players to take care of him. You know what I mean? And give him a bit of. I don't expect them all to shout because that's one of the things I don't like about this team. Look, McGregor, Tavernier, Lindstrom, they're all shouting at these young boys and give them rollickings and all that. You're going, there's a time to do it and a time not to do it. We just take go in people's cases. And the boy King is one of the players in question. I mean, you've got to talk him into the game. Davis and all them have got to talk that boy through the game. And I agree with Billy. The boy is a player. You can see the boy's going to be a player.
And he stood up to their physicality well. I just think sometimes Billy got too close, and that's just experience. He's 18. He's only learning his trade.
Of course, mate. Of course, Rox. You know what I mean? He's a big, strong laddie. You can see that in his stature, mate. He's a big, strong laddie. And listen, he's only got to get bigger and stronger because he's still to grow yet and go out the way and put on more muscle, mate. But listen, that big boy was he was playing against the big, what was it, Van? What was his name? I can't mind that. It's Van Ven or something like that.
He's a handful anyway.
He definitely was. Albert, you know what I mean?
Was it?
Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh, aye. No, the big boy was a handful for young Leon King, mate. Because he was big and strong and he was putting himself about. But listen, the lad will learn for that. You know what I mean? He'll definitely learn. And sometimes he was just getting too tight on him, and he was rolling him and that. But he'll get better. He'll get better. That lad will come on leaps and bounds. That's a cracker we've got in Hans there, mate. Definitely.
All right, okay. If you're happy, I'm happy. It's funny, if there'd been a last minute equaliser, if we hadn't got Lundstrom's goals, I think these phone lines might have been a wee bit busier.
We like him on, don't we? It wasn't a classic performance by any stretch of imagination, but it was more important. The result was more important, wasn't
it? Aye. Listen, it keeps our good run in the league going, but we're stretching a lot of victories. We discussed a few weeks ago, could we win nine games in the league? Well, that's down to 6 now. We've won 3 of them. Away to Motherwell and away to Hearts, yeah?
They mean task.
So fair enough.
Winning breeds confidence, mate. You know what I mean? You can be. I mean, we spoke about it before the show. Oxford, we're saying we want a performance like we did against Hearts. Unfortunately, that never happened. But we got the job done, mate. We got the 3 points, mate, and that's all we can ask for as supporters, mate. And it's another wee box ticked, mate. You know what I mean? 3 points. Won the last 3 games. We move on, mate. That's what we scored 10 goals in 3 games and conceded 1. If somebody had asked you that 3 games ago, you'd have broke their fingers for it, wouldn't you? 2
away games out the way. I know Motherwell gave us problems at Ibrox last year, Billy.
They certainly did, mate. They certainly did.
So did you think that Walker Matt Crocker were doing their knees praying? Did you hear them? Could this happen again? Could this happen again?
I know.
Up your knees, you.
I know. I'm sure Andy Walker's got a sponsor by Slater's, mate. He gets through that money. Parachute trousers. It burns the holes out of his knees in him, doesn't he? Honest to God, man.
I mean, that moral, see, they did get an equaliser that just wasn't deserved. They didn't deserve anything in that game, by the way. It's not as good. We weren't at our best, but my God, they're dreadful. They are dreadful, man. They one of them don't score goals, eh?
No. I mean, as I said, that's 3 goals I've scored at home, innit? I mean, that's the problem. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem for Wednesday's game as well. The games we play, and then we have to go up to a different level. It doesn't push you on, and really, ultimately, the league's not working. It's failing to push quality. And if you were running Scottish football and not being a Rangers supporter, it'd be something you'd look at, wouldn't it? It's no working. Whatever you're doing is not working.
Oh, they'll never admit it, mate. I mean, they still need to mark their own homework and tell you this is the greatest deal that's ever been, the Sky one, and they're telling you the league's the best it's ever been. I don't know what product they're looking at, but it's definitely not the product I'm looking at. And if it wasn't for Rangers, I would not be interested in Scottish football. Not just because I don't like Scottish football, because it's crap. It is crap, mate. It's not a product. It's just garbage, the whole lot of it. And Europe proved it. Europe's proven it time and time and time again. And it will continue to do it. It's done it all our lives, and it will continue, because nothing will change. We'll all go through this conversation. The boys are not lassies that are on their early teens and who are going to the games. When they hit their 50s and 60s, they're going to have the same conversation, and they're going to say, we've been talking about this all our life. Nothing ever changes, but nothing will ever change. And that's the sad thing about it.
Even the product for me, I mean, the difficulty of Rangers supporters, and I suppose that mob's support will be the same, try to get tickets for games, Billy, and as I stand with nobody in it, it just doesn't make sense.
That's, come on, that's financial suicide when you think about it. Why would any football team in Scotland they're saying they can't get money in, they're doing this to keep open and this and that, and the next thing, mate. Why would they not want supporters in their stadium to make money? It makes no financial sense whatsoever. None. You know what I mean? And I can remember it Oxford as well, mate. I can remember coming on the show 2 or 3 years ago, mate, and I spoke about Scottish football as a product and how I thought it was going downhill because with sponsorship deals and TV deals. And I think that was about 3 years ago, mate. And if anything, big man, it's actually got worse. You know what I mean? So, Oxford's got, there's only, I was actually, seeing you're talking to me, I was actually talking to a couple of boys yesterday about it, the product of Scottish football. And they man was a Jambo and man was a Celtic man, right? And they actually agreed with us. They says that the product in Scotland is absolutely dire, eh? And that's down to the I think that's down to, well, in my book, mate, that's down to the SPFL and the SPL, mate, and the SFA, sorry. They've got to come up with a plan to do it.
Some of the clubs have no sympathy for, but it's a good debate one. Some of the clubs have no sympathy for because they voted to cut their own throats and they haven't recovered for 2012, so he'll slap it in them. But ultimately, it's not helping us all bear, is it?
But the clubs went to their own support and says, look, we can't sell our own ground out. We're going to, any tickets available after the home support have had their bite at it, are going to the away supports. We're going to invite the away support to see the away team, to see them. And they all went mental and voted. And I remember Hibs and all that, especially turning and saying, if you do that, we'll give you up a season ticket, we won't be back. That's what you're up against, mate. That's what you're up against. So we get all us in, and then they all leave, and you go, well, no, went one step forward. That's where the clubs are sitting at the moment. They're going, there's no point to giving Rangers supporters more tickets because the equivalent Hibs supporters will stop going. It's mad, mate. It's just totally mad. When every pound that comes through the turnstile, because of the state and the sponsorship we get in Scotland and poor deals we get in Scotland, every pound that comes in the gate is treasured. It's important. You know what I mean? Because you don't get much money anywhere else, but they don't want it. And it's hate myself to death, mate. That's the problem. Hate myself to death.
Aye, I get it, Mulberry, I get it. It's financial suicide for some of them. All right, companies join us. Give your thoughts. I'm going for Ben Davis, man of the match, in a turgid game at Fir Park. If you've got a different thought, give us your number. Give us a call on 0141 356 1972. You can come through and speak to Billy Rolbear. Who did you plug for, Billy?
I thought John Lumstrom just shaded it for me, mate. It was a toss-up between him and Ben Davis, mate. But I'm just going with John Lumstrom because he scored the winner.
All right. Rolbear?
No, I'll go with Davis, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because I'm a crawler and partly because I agree with you.
I think there was a backhanded...
Oh, hey, 2-1.
There was a backhanded compliment in there.
Definitely, mate. Aye, listen. But listen, Hingme, I thought Hingme had a good game and all.
I don't know who Hingme is, but you'll need to help me out, Billy. What did you think of Thingy, Albert?
Oh, I don't know, but probably I'll think a lot once I find out who it is.
He's a clue, Billy.
He's the first name.
My mind just went totally blank here, mate.
Remember Thingy?
I can't even mind what I was talking about.
Is that Tony Black?
Just cancel that last comment there, mate. Just get the background team to cut it off.
Remember, he's a bit fragile today.
Right. You remember Thingy back in the day? He was a rare player, Albert, wasn't he?
Who's that?
Thingy,
oh, I remember Thingy, aye. Funny how there were a lot of things playing for us, isn't we? And you know what I think I've seen today that really annoys me? I don't know if it annoys you. See Barisic keeping the ball in for them to... the ball comes across the park, he jumps up and headies it to them. The only thing he can do is head it. And you're going, if you head it, it's going to them. Don't head it. Let it go to the park. No, headies it. You're sitting on. You've just took yourself out of position. It really annoys me. It's just great.
I think he was trying to get a seat in the stand, mate, because that's all he done. After a couple of crosses, I thought his decision making and defending area. I tell you what we struggle, and this is another thing I'm going to throw at the coaching staff: defending and taking throw-ins. We're clueless. Albert.
Oh, definitely. It's the throw-ins. I mean, I think I've seen one throw-in. I think it was maybe Tab that actually threw the ball out of the Motherwell player's heads and got it to a player. And that's the first time, I think, in a long time I've seen that. Because usually we get a throw-in, we give the ball straight to the opposition. It's nuts. But I don't see any improvement in any player since the coaching this coaching mob come in. I don't see any improvement whatsoever. All the weaknesses that we've seen before are still there. No improvement. And it sounds ridiculous, isn't it? Taking a shy is a weakness, but it is.
I've got that boy's name now, mate. What I was going to say was, I knew what I was going to say, but I couldn't get the words out because my mind went blank. But Thingy, as I said, I thought Big Kolach I thought Big, to be honest with you, mate, right? I thought Big Kolach.
And you call him Thingy again. Big Kolach.
I thought what I was trying to say was, I thought Big Kolach had a decent enough game due to the circumstances being isolated up front, mate. I thought he worked his socks off, the big fella. He got no service whatsoever, mate, bar that one. He put the header past the post in the second half. But if they're going to play like that, I don't know what you think. With the likes of Big Kolach up front himself, mate. We're going to hit the boys up to him. If he's not going to win them, we've got to try and win the second boys doing round about him, eh? Second boys is a big king too for me in that situation, Ox.
For me, the way we play, your wingers aren't involved when it goes to your centre forward, and the way we were playing, the midfield wasn't getting up the park, and particularly in the first half, Albert, it was isolated. There was no second boys. Thingy could have walked on and Thingy did.
He's just a shame, man. He's got that. He's got that. What do you call it? Thingy right enough. He's got no support. He's got no support whatsoever. But see, Thingy didn't give me Thingy the ball. I mean, that's ridiculous. It should be getting looked at. I mean, you've got Kent and Matondo. They're supposed to be supplying, and they supply nothing. They supply absolutely nothing. And the big boy stands up there and he must look at the two and go, Christ, going to get somebody on it can actually give me a ball. What's a ball? Then he looks at the midfield and he looks at Arfield and going, Arfield going to know a quality through ball if they come up and bit him. Lundstrom will no drive on. You're getting what's up? He must be driving nuts, absolutely nuts. Going, I could score 40 goals a season if I just get service here.
I think they said he scored 10 goals out of 13 shots or something mad like that. Anyway, we've been joined by Willie. Evening, Willie.
Good afternoon, brothers.
How we doing, mate? All right.
Okay. Having watched the game there, I thought it was an absolute stinker.
I think
all we can take for that is 3 points.
Flattering.
3 points.
Very flattering.
The referee was absolutely ridiculous. Terrible referee.
Did it start in the first minute for you, mate, when he didn't book the boy for the deliberate trip on Tillman?
Absolutely. If you notice, the referee, every yellow card he gave was straight out of the rule book. He gave all the technical yellow cards. There was a player, one of their players had 4 kicks at Barisic before Barisic went down, and never gave a yellow card. Eventually gave a foul, and then their man comes on and he tugs a jersey. He's just on the park, he gets a yellow card right away, and their man's running away towards our nets, towards our side, our end of the park, and gets a yellow. He was giving out the technical yellow cards all through the game. If there's anything you need to referee, it's common sense, and that man's got none, absolutely none. His yellow cards were absolutely shocking, straight out of the rule book. He didn't know what a foul was. He gave the odd foul, but he didn't know when to give a yellow card. Absolutely terrible. I thought, see this with Rangers, this 4-2-3-1, I really don't like it. We don't have the players to suit that. Because
what area?
The three have to support the one, and they've got to support the two. And in the three, we don't have the players that can do that. I mean, like at Arfield. I Scott Arfield to bits. I think he gives you, he's a Rangers man. He's a diehard. I think he's a fan. He gives you everything he's got. But he's not got the legs to support the one and the two. He's not got the legs to run up and down there for 90 minutes. And that's how we get left badly exposed in the midfield.
I don't disagree with some of that, Albert, when you come.
It's a fair point. As for the referee, I agree, 100%, totally agree with the one that you said, Oxley Tillman, the first one. That wasn't just a foul. That was a stamp. He stamped on his foot, and that to me is a red card because it's the same sort of similar to that one with Hearts last week, where the boy went in the back and stamped down on Matondo. It was the same thing. If you watch it again, it's a stamp. So if it's a stamp, it's a red card all day long for me. Anyway, I agree with the rest of it. It was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. It doesn't know when to give fouls, and it doesn't know when not to give a yellow card. And it was ludicrous, just ludicrous. I mean, some of the ones they were getting, they were just falling down, and he's getting a free kick. And then you're watching the one with Barisic. He get fouled 4 times before he actually gave him a free kick. The same move. But I agree with Arfield as well. I like Arfield myself, and I don't think he's got the legs either. It's a shame if you put him in that position again. It's Van Bronckhorst sticking hanging a player out to dry. He's not got the stamina, but he's not got the eye for a through boy. He's not that type of midfielder. He's the running type midfielder that breaks the lines and gets by, which is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A lot of the young players in our academy should look at that boy and learn from him how he does it, when he times their runs, how he does their runs. They're excellent at doing it. But again, it's necessity in it. It's mend and make do at the moment, isn't it?
Aye. Billy?
I concur with everything there. Wally's bang on day, mate. I thought the referee had a shocker, mate, and then all his yellow cards were right out the rule book too, mate. I mean, there was one on the second half and all when Barisic he caught Barisic and all, mate. I thought that was a yellow card and all, and I think Motherwell, did it go out for a throw-in or something? I think he went out for a throw-in in the second half there too, but and the one on the Tillman, that's to me, that's a red card, mate. I don't care if that's the first minute or the last minute, mate. It's a red card because it's a stamp. He's right on the top of his ankle, so it's a red card. You know what I mean? It was a heat scratch. I put it that way, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, it was, put it this way, I'd need to see it again to see if I thought it was a red, but it was definitely a yellow. Wally?
Aye, absolutely. I mean, I just thought the referee, he just totally. It looked like it was his first game. I hope it's his last game, but it looked like it was his first game. For me, I had 28 years.
Are you saying, Billy, that David Dickinson wasn't the real deal?
I'm saying he's as cheap as chips.
Wally, do you?
Hello.
On you go, Billy. Hello, carry on, mate. Carry on.
No, I just saying, I just think they came out with that. They came out with all the dirty tricks. They were putting the boot in. I think they tried to sit back to a certain extent and counter-attack with that Van Veen because he's been scoring goals for them. I think he's a big target man and all the rest of it. But the times where they just sat in and every chance to go out, they put the boot in. You know, the body checks and all the dirty tricks. And then, all right, that's good. You know, Rangers are a football team. We're a bunch of shit kickers, so we'll just kick them off the park. And they were lucky they got a referee that allowed them to do that.
Can you no change that? Can you no change that, Willie? If Kent puts the one in with his left foot, Tillman scores, and you're 2-0 up after 10 minutes.
Kent was an empty shot the day again for me.
What was that?
Kent was an empty shot the day again for me.
What I'm saying is he should have scored in the first couple of minutes, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get that, you get that Alex at the start of the game, and it's a totally different game. It makes it a totally different game. I mean, they scored that free kick, and that was us again, edge of the seat. Squeaky bum time again, I thought this lot are just going to punt a ball up and steal a goal and steal a draw. That's what we were all expecting. For honest, that is just what we thought was going to happen. We're playing this again. We should have been out of sight in this game. This lot they shouldn't be on the same pitch as us because they're not a football team. They just all the dirty tricks and all putting the boot in, and the referee just let them away with it.
I just don't think we passed the ball well enough today, Billy. I don't think any of their tactics, a lot of their inefficiencies of their performance was doing to us, no passing the ball.
Aye, listen, Knox. When we zip the ball about, mate, they're great. They're an absolute pleasure to watch the Rangers at times. You know what I mean? But if you're no passing the ball about quick and sharp, mate, then it ever all becomes slow and lethargic. You know what I mean? Stop, start, mate. But what you're bang on, mate. About passing the ball about, mate. We didn't. And listen, Motherwell contributed. I thought they contributed absolutely zilch to that game bar, trying to break the game up, mate. They had a couple of wee iffy moments. You know what I mean? The second half regarding when we lost the goal for the free kick, mate. But other than that, mate, they contributed absolutely nothing to the game. I was just going to ask Wally a question, Ox, if that's all right, mate, just regarding the referees, if that's all right, bro.
About thingy.
About thingy, mate. Aye, about thingy. Here, Wally, I was just, with you being an ex-ref, mate, I was just wondering, what do you think, with the scenario with Scottish football and now regarding the referees and the standard of the referees, what do you think is lacking in the referee area that to bring the game on and improve it? I know we've got VAR coming in next week, mate, so obviously that's going to help them out, but it's the standard's still got to be there, mate, so how can we improve that standard of refereeing? What's your thoughts, mate?
I think the way they'll improve it is by casting the net a bit wider. Because all these guys that are referees in the Premier League, they're all white, they're all men, they've all got middle class jobs, 99% Masonic, and if you're not in that department, you're not going to be refereeing in the Premier League. So I don't think
that's the case anymore, mate.
Well, no, it's not so much maybe not 99%, but it is changing. There's no doubt it's changing. But there's still going to be these boys that have got these middle class jobs, and they think that makes them great referees. I mean, you could be the best referee in the country. If you're packing shelves in Tesco's, you're never going to be seen on TV refereeing. Never. Because of your job. And that has to change. And this VAR, I think this VAR is going to be an absolute nightmare in Scotland.
One of the things I think, Willie, as well, is independence. They're not independent enough. They're too wrapped up with the SFA and SPFL. For my liking, because they're giving them directives all the time.
Absolutely.
They shouldn't be giving them directives. All the referees there today is apply the laws.
I'm glad you added to that.
Absolutely, you're right, Albert. They just come off a conveyor belt. They really do.
What's independence got to do with referees?
Hey, I thought you weren't allowed to swear on this show. That's a sweary word for me.
I wondered where you were going with that one, Albert.
They need to be independent of the governing bodies, they really do, because these directives they keep getting is confusing everybody. And then we know that there's Celtic men placed all over the place in all these organisations, and they are getting all sorts of favouritism. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Absolutely.
I hate to say it, but it's true. It's true.
You know something about VAR,
it really has to stop. And look at the amount of skullduggery goes within the game, changing dates, bringing winter breaks forward, all this carry on, increasing substitutes halfway through a season, all this nonsense. We can't get VAR halfway through the season. What craziness was that about? You know what I mean?
See something about VAR, right? See the VAR. When they brought the VAR in, it should have been brought in to suit the laws of the game. Since they brought VAR in, they've done nothing but change the laws of the game to suit VAR.
Exactly. But the one thing I'll say, see the offside one, Wally, for example, that's a 19th century law in football, and they're trying to shoehorn that into 21st century technology. It's silly. It's just silly. It should be changed that if any part of your body's onside, you carry on, the goal stands. No offside, onside. And it makes it a more positive thing rather than this continuous negative nonsense. Because everybody's there to see goals.
Correct. But as I said this to Ox before, this VAR, it's been brought in because eventually there's going to be a lot of stoppages in the game, and they'll follow them up with adverts, and they'll make a fortune out of the adverts. That's what's going to happen.
No, in Scotland will know. Scotland will be very old carpets again, no?
No, they'll not make a fortune out of football in Scotland. No, that's like this running it. No chance.
What players, I mean, obviously, you're right, it wasn't the greatest performance. What players shone for you today?
Well, Tillman, I give Tillman man of the match for the goal, because that pulled us out the doldrums, I think. We might never have scored, you know.
I understand that, mate. It came out of nowhere, didn't it?
It did. I mean, that's where you're looking for a special goal for a special player. He's meant to be a special player. Bayern Munich. You're not Bayern Munich if you're a numpty, you know, hopefully. And I think Davis, he did a pretty good job. But it was a difficult game for us because we didn't play well. There's no doubt we didn't play well. But I just, as I say again, Alex, I don't like this 4-2-3-1. We don't have the players for that. We just don't.
The Dusty Bin formation, all bear?
Dusty Bin, aye, 3-2-1. I mean, Wally, I'm not trying to be smart here, but what formation we go? What type of players have we got for the formation? With the type of players we've got, I don't know. I've not got a clue, mate, because they can't play. They can't play this position. They can't play this. It's mad. It's murder. You just go. What suits this group of players? Is it 4-4-2? Is it 5-2-1-6? I don't know. They just, every time we got a formation, we're putting as Ox says, square pegs and round holes. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to work.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have the players for a 4-2-3-1, but they're just putting them into that formation anyway, and it's just not working for us. We're getting left with huge holes in the midfield, absolutely huge holes, and then they can just throw three guys forward at any time and nick a goal. You know.
We seem to be overrun a lot in a lot of games, don't we?
We do. Our midfield seems non-existent at times. Barisic through the week. When did the last time Barisic put a tackle in? That must be the easiest hat trick that Salah ever get in his life. When I played at left back, and after he scored that first goal, see, the second time he came towards me, he'd have been in the front row of the crowd, and he never even get tackled. Barisic, I heard you guys say that our full-backs, they're no good defenders. They don't tackle. That's the first thing you have to do if you're a defender. You've got to tackle. That's the main part of your job. Aye, exactly. Aye. Well, if you tackle, you'll do that. You know, if they're in the front row of the crowd, they'll not be crossing the ball. You've got to let them know you're there.
About that with Salah's hat trick was somebody's pointed out in one of their podcasts. He's one of the most gifted left-footed players in the world in football. Aye. And you let him come in his left foot every time.
That's right. Showed him inside.
I'm not going to hark back to it the Wednesday, but it's a fact. You go. It's more an observation that we are fullback than the praise of Salah. You're sitting going, you could have done better there, son. But this is the stupidity of some of your players. I just don't get it at times. I really don't get them. So the one with Barrett today, he did the ball back in play when he knows he's heading it to the opposition and he's pulled himself out of position.
Was it 2-0 at the time?
Was it decision making?
2-0 at the time. That was
2-0 at the time, mate.
Aye, 2-0.
It's madness, mate. The players fell out of trouble. They're getting pressed, and with the 2, 3, 4 players, and the player fell out of it. And then one of the players, they give the body, plays it straight back into the press. You've already played it out of that side of the park. Open it up, no, right back it goes. And the players who are pressing you don't have to run anywhere because you're putting the ball back into their area. It's madness. It's sheer and utter madness.
I don't like this idea of Lundstrom when he's in their half passing the ball back to McGregor. He's got the ball in their half and he passes it all the way back to McGregor. What is all that about?
All right.
That's poor decision making. along with the pass that he gave to King, that dropped him right in it.
I disagree. I didn't think John Lundstrom had a good game. He scored a goal, but didn't have a good game. In fact, I didn't think Tillman had a good game up until he scored a wonder goal.
Hello? The positive take out of the
wait a minute, I've cut across show there. We've been joined by a caller. Hello, I think it's Keith, all right?
I am all right, mate. How's it going?
Aye, the floor's yours. What you got to say?
Yeah, I was just wondering, obviously, the Gio's tactics, obviously, it's been a bit so one, obviously, we know that. It's in Europe, it's been a disaster, to be honest, let's say. But see, domestically, we're still there. But do you still think that he is the right man to lead us forward? Because it's a bit so
Aye, well, is he the right man for us to take us forward? Domestically, so far so good in the last few weeks. Obviously, we're all suffering for some of the defeats in the Champions League, but I don't think we're surprised at the results, Billy. It's the scorelines, Billy.
I know, mate. Listen, we've spoken about this, I know, mate. We obviously want to see good football getting played all the time, mate. We get that, we want to see our team playing football. We've got to remember as well that we've got a pile of injuries now as well, right? So the manager's hand is tied behind his back here because to pick players, he can't pick players to gun that he's not got into positions. Maybe the players that he's want to play in the positions are out injured. So
who was missing for the starting 11 the day then?
Well, you would take Hadji for a start. I would take
in your starting 11, would he?
Aye, I would take him in, definitely, mate. I like the wee man.
Right.
I like what he offers you.
Right. Okay. So who else?
Golson, Kamara,
Lawrence. Yep.
Lawrence. So where do you play Lawrence and Hadji?
No, you're talking. It all depends what formation you're wanting to set up, Box. There's a plenty. I mean, we could sit to the coos, come home and talk about formations, mate. You could play a 4-4-2 and play Lundstrom in.
He's not going to play a 4-4-2. He plays a 4-2-3-1. That's what he plays.
No, I know that. Aye, yeah, I completely understand that, mate. But what I'm saying is, there's a rake of options there for a 4-4-2. You could take Lundstrom sitting in the middle of the park on the right hand side. You could take Sands down the right hand side, playing wide right as a midfielder. You could take Tom Lawrence sitting in the left hand side of the midfield, and take your pick out in the left. You know what I mean? So you could play that way and all. But listen.
You swap Matondo. You swap Hadji for Matondo, or vice versa, I mean. And you swap Kent for Lawrence. There you are. You've got three. You've got two in the team right away.
Obviously, Golston comes back in, one of your favourites. I know you all, Ben and Billy, are big fans of Connor.
Well, he comes in for King. Obviously, he comes in for King with experience. You know what I mean? But eventually, King will overtake him. No bother. King will eventually be a far superior player to Golston. He's not there at the moment, I'll give you that. He's not there at the moment, but he's heading in the right direction now.
Right, I'm glad you mentioned Leon King, because let's hear from him, see what he thought of the game.
You're on 3 points here today. What are your reflections on the match?
Also, we've had a tough week, and we came here having to bounce back for a tough defeat during the Champions League in midweek, so that's what we came here to do. At times it wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. It's 3 points in the end.
Yeah, it was obviously important to bounce back after midweek, but it shows the mentality of the players that are able to come here and do that.
It does, and I know I'm a young one in the team, but I'm proud of the players today. Obviously, we stood up and we were counted, and that's what we got the win at the end of the day.
On a personal level, how much did you relish, obviously, that start out there?
It's amazing, but I just need to keep my head down, keep going, and work with the coaching staff every single day to make myself better.
It must also be good to play alongside Ben, who's obviously very experienced at this level.
Obviously, other than midweek, it's the first time I played alongside Ben a game in the Premiership, so it was good, and hopefully we can build something going forward.
That's 4 victories in a row in the league. It must be pleasing to see the consistency of the players.
It's amazing, but at a club like Rangers, that's what you need to do. The expectation is to win, so that's what we need to do for the club, the manager, the coaching staff and the fans especially.
And just on to midweek against Dundee in the League Cup. It's a chance to get back to Hampden, isn't it?
It is. It'll be a tough one, but we'll be there and we'll be ready, and it's a chance to get to Hampden again.
Oh, switched on young man, yeah, 18. Living a dream. Go to Willie, then Billy.
It sounds like I mean, I think these boys, they get a lot of, they get the media training and all the rest of it. And I think he's been about the youth long enough. I think he never looked out of place. Absolutely never looked out of place. And I agree with Allbear. He's going to be a top defender and probably far better than Golson.
Billy?
I liked the laddie's interview there, mate. He spoke really well. He came across nice and confident, mate, which is always good. And we didn't need to sit and talk about his football ability because we know how good a player the laddie is, mate. But he's definitely a cracker, a football player for us in the future, mate. And he's going to only get better and better and better. And it's great to see. I'm speaking as well as he did there, mate, because it's like an all-heed-on young shooters type thing. You know what I mean?
Not once, Allbear, did they say thing me.
It's unbelievable listening to the boy that he's 18, isn't it? It really is unbelievable. He's very mature, very mature. Sounds switched on as well, know what I mean? Which is nice to hear.
He never said,
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the afternoon. We're going to go and listen. Thanks, Willie. Thanks for the call, mate. Always good to hear from you.
Thanks for taking my call, Hawks. Nice to be on speaking to the brothers.
Billy boy.
Aye, thanks very much for asking us on pre-match and after-match show, Hawks. I thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. A good shout out to my old pal there, Albert. Thanks very much, mate. Loved every minute. And the Rangers got the job done, mate. 3 points. And I think I'm just going to go and get a wee sherry.
What a surprise this Sunday afternoon. Albert?
It's great to be with yourself and Billy there. Enjoyed the chat. Nice to hear Willie there. I like hearing Willie's comments. Always sensible. And 3 points. Nice victory. 3 points. Well done.
Yeah. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock talking about all things Rangers. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it away, old school boy.